Hello and welcome, my friend. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Schifferly with another video to help you be fit and live free. Today we've got an email from the RDP mailbag, reddeltaproject@gmail.com, basically asking me, Matt, I'm curious about doing an isometric challenge, solely working on isometric exercises for the next month or two in order to give the joints a break, improve tension control, but I'm worried about losing muscle and strength. Do you have any experience with this? And if so, was it worthwhile or not worth doing? And yes, I do have experience with it, particularly when I got into quantifiable isometrics with the IsoMax, the ISO chain, the predecessor to this, and now of course we got the IsoFlex coming out. I'll put a link down below into their Kickstarter if you're interested in checking that out. But that does make a very big difference for quantifiable isometric training when you're using it as your primary strength training component, even if it's for a relatively short period of time, like a month to 6 weeks. But nonetheless, it's not at all necessary. You can certainly use the ISO trainer from WorldFit, or just simply a yoga strap, or people have used like a TRX and stuff, which this is stuff that works. But if you really want to dedicate your training with isometrics, you want dedicated isometric equipment, if possible. It just makes it a lot easier, a lot more rewarding, and it's a lot easier to just kind of dial in all the things for building that tension control that you want and the stability that helps to build the resiliency in your joints. And as far as losing muscle and strength, probably not going to happen. If anything, you're probably going to build more muscle and strength than you had previous to that, because again, remember that isometrics makes it so much easier to put a lot more tension in the muscle than you may have had with dynamic training, particularly in muscles you had trouble engaging. So yes, your tension control will improve, but if you've got those stubborn to grow muscle groups that you just can't quite get to work the way you want, isometrics is fantastic for blasting through those plateaus. And don't forget that there is no minimum amount of time that you can hold all of that tension for. So a lot of folks find that it's easier and more effective to build muscle, particularly in the short term of a couple of months, with isometrics, because you can put so much more time under tension with the muscle. So the bottom line is you're probably not going to lose, you're probably just going to gain. But with that said, I did recognize that if I focused exclusively on isometrics for several weeks or so, and then I went to dynamic training, there was a little bit of something that was lost. It wasn't necessarily strength or muscle for sure, but it was more the ability to move with the strength, particularly when I was going with an eccentric motion, where I would like lower down from a pull-up or getting down into a lunge, and my muscles weren't quite used to generating a lot of tension while being stretched out. So I'd have a little bit of cramping, a little bit more muscle damage the day after, more soreness and stuff. So because of these things, I still recommend, if you're focusing a lot on isometrics for a month or two, still get at least a little bit of dynamic training. Doesn't even need to be heavy, but some dynamic sets in throughout the week, maybe one dedicated dynamic training workout, just to ensure that your nervous system and your muscles and tendons and everything are used to having load on eccentric and concentric motions. But yes, focusing on isometric training for several weeks or even a month or two, I found to be very worthwhile. It really had a lot of carryover and helped me break through plateaus and bring my dynamic training to a much higher level. And I definitely recommend it, especially if you're kind of feeling that itch and feeling like you're getting a lot out of your isometric training. But I want to listen and hear from you folks. What do you think here in the RDP community? Have you experienced with this sort of thing? Please leave your comments down below. We'd love to learn from your experience. Very valuable. Thank you very much. Best of luck in your workouts this week. Be fit and live free.